What up, though? Cisco, Tinman podcast here with a good friend of mine. He's like a son, my little brother, friend, humanitarian, whatever you want to call this man. But this man is a young man that's leading the pack because he does so much good for the community. Not does he only cuts hair, and that's his hustle. But what do you do, dog? What do you do out here for us?
Man, we're right here live in Tri-City, Oceanside, California, meeting people where they're at with what you got. You know, I'm the founder of Humanity Barbers, another organization.
Don't listen to him. He's taking too much credit, but yeah, go ahead.
Aside from Humanity Showers, we have Humanity Barbers. We go cut hair for the unhoused community. We mentor the youth through our barber workshops, and then recently we've been doing other stuff that could possibly get us into other groups that we won't find ourselves on our daily lives.
You know, today, how old are you again?
I'm 23.
He's 23 years old, and I'm just like, I know he probably gets mad at me all the time, but he goes, yeah, say he's 22, he's 23, he's my daughter's age. I seen a young girl here, and I was like, hey, man, it's okay if I go talk to her. I said, hey, mija, how old are you? And she goes, I'm 23. I said, you born in 2001? She goes, yeah. I said, man, what you doing out here? I even asked him, like, I said, you think I should go talk to her? And then when I spoke to her, I was like, hey, what are you doing out here, mija? Like, really, look at you. You're 23 years old. You know what's out here? She goes, but I'm not from around here. I'm like, it doesn't matter. There's so many resources. I'm like, you're my daughter's age. You're my baby's age, you know? It's like, right when I seen you, I knew you were around that age, and it breaks my heart, man. And that's why I admire this man so much, because being as young as he is, he's doing stuff that most kids nowadays think is like, why should I go do this? That's not my problem. That ain't my dad. That ain't my brother. That's not my relative. It don't matter, man. It's in his blood. It's in his spirit, and it's in his mind. It's in his heart to help others. And that's admirable, man. That's why I admire you so much. Even though I talk shit to him all the time, but I do it out of love, you know? I wouldn't talk shit if I don't fuck with you, you know? And let them know about you, dog. Where you from, what you do, how'd you get here?
Yeah, you know, my name Young Barber Steve on Instagram. They call me Chicago. You know, born and raised over there on the other side in the Midwest. And I got over here through the Marines, you know. My homie in short got shot and killed in my car back home, and I found myself escaping my environment, and being here in North County, it showed me another side of me that I didn't think I would ever have. And honestly, I owe it all to God, finding my faith, finding my mentor, Jordan, the founder of Humanity Showers, the real founder of Humanity Barbers, you know, and him giving me the opportunity to just be a mentee, and, you know, above all, just following what God got for me. You know, it's kind of hard to go help people because you're like, dang, I'm not making no money off of this, and we all got this, you know, hey, well, why? Like you said, you know, but I feel like when you bridge the gap from you and the community, the opportunities become endless, you know. For somebody that's not here, I've created so many, like, family-like environments all over California, and I think it's just through being a genuine person, just speaking your testimony and being outright proud of yourself, you know, loving who you are. You know, for so long I felt like I needed to be somebody else, you know. I was a follower, not of God, but of the bigger homies back home in Chicago, or somebody that is out here telling you, you got to do this and that so that you can get this tribe and so you can do that, you know. And I'm not going to lie, like, from what I've seen, even from the first day you stepped out with us, like, man, you earned so much through this right here. And we don't talk about it that much. You don't see it as much because, you know, we're young. And I understand that, but we shouldn't have to wait till an older age in life to be like, you know what, I want to go help somebody else. You know, and I'm glad that I found it when I did. And I'm glad that I have the opportunity to speak it into others. And that's just what it is.
You know, it's crazy. One day I seen this post on Instagram, right? This person, he cut his hair, he was homeless, and we're right here in Tri-City.
Right here, my boy Harmon, right here.
And I seen him, and I said, hey, I stopped right here in the middle at the light. I said, hey, dog, did Steve just cut your hair? He goes, yeah, it looks good. I was like, dog, you look like a brand new person. I said, are you hungry? He goes, yeah. I took him to Jack in the Box with my family. We bought some food. And I'm like, how small the world is, you know what I'm saying? Like, He touched somebody. Hours later, I see him on his story. I get to sit with him. You should have seen this man's joy, man, is for my haircut. A haircut. Most people go to the barbershop, they talk the shit. That's like therapy for everybody, for all the men out there, on the weekends with their little sons, with their brothers. You build a relationship. This man's building a relationship with the community, with the unknown. He's building a community with the unknown. How powerful is that? Because most people don't care about the unknown. It's not their problem. And this man right here, being as young as he is, he's creating a family, a community, and guiding people younger than him to become better, to do something with their lives. And it's nothing where it's about profit. It's about love. You know what I'm saying? Self-respect. And he's setting those boundaries high, man. There's two other kids I really look up to, George and Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? Those are my boys, man. And I always say those are my kids, man, because I come in a household where I got nothing but girls, When I meet young men like him, like George and Jimmy, I'm just like, man, I was in prison at that age. What they're doing, I was already in prison. I was already down, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of us where I come from are already down as well. So me giving back, I'm not giving back. I'm just being presented to another life. I'm being here, present to another life. And I'm learning from them, the younger generation. And it's, hey, as long as you become a student of the game, you're always going to be up here.
I wanna touch on something, I get goosebumps thinking about that moment, seeing a couple tears roll down from your eyes the other day when we were here. Not being from here, I don't know what it is to grow up with others and have seen them in the light of the darkness, right?
Yeah.
Where you're broken, your soul isn't there. But you were here last week, dog, and you ran into like 4 of your homies, dog, from the same hood, from the same upbringing, and I saw tears come down your eyes, dog. Like, how would you represent that? How would you depict that for others that are out there right now in the streets with their homies, and they're probably more than likely following their purpose in the wrong way? You know?
What? It's crazy because I seen him, and I seen one of my little homies, and I said, "What's up with your brother? What's up with your mom, dog?" Because I know his family, and I looked at him. And I couldn't hold it no more. I just started bawling, man, because it hurts. Because, a lot of times we're kicking with the homies. What we're gonna go do? What's the next lick? Man, let's go get some, you know what I mean? Pa ponernos bien. We go to the liquor store, then we're driving around. We get into little trouble, and that's what we're teaching. That's what I was taught. You know what I'm saying? We gotta put in work, and nah, man, I'm not here trying to teach anybody none of that or talk about none of that. I'm trying to teach people putting in work is helping the next man. And I told him, I'm not going to sit here and be like, hey, man, I'm better than you because I have somewhere to live. Why should I be better than you when me and you are the same person? We all created on one person's image, right? And it's like, if I can guide you and show you that I came out the trenches, because that's where we're from, the trenches. You know what I'm saying? There's no glory in the trenches, man. It's nothing but dirt. If you want to live with the shovel in your hand and look at walls all your life, by all means. That's your tool. That's not my tool. My tool is my heart. And I want to give, and I want to teach, I want to guide, I want to be light. And that's why I had tears in my eyes, because I feel like we all deserve that chance. But if you don't want to take it, I can't make you. I can just sit here and show you, look, man, I'm not rich for money, but I'm rich at heart. And you can have the same richness if you just follow your heart.
No, and I like that. And, I know it's not for a long one, man. We're due for a longer segment. We're just here live trying to express something that we were deeply talking about this possibly 10 minutes. We were talking about this deeply 10 minutes ago. It's hard to walk around with a heavenly mindset. It's hard to walk in the righteous path for a reason, because so much evilness has already been put into this world that you think that's what you need to follow, right? And I watched this time and time again. I know you have as well growing up. Sometimes you do need to turn the other cheek and realize that fear is very much different from respect, right?
Oh,
Respecting the environment, respecting those around you, respecting what God has for you and what He told you to do, why He left for Him to come back, live through you, and for you to be His image, right? Understand that sometimes people are gonna call you a bitch, people are gonna call you a pussy, but that's not what you are.
You know what I'm saying?
Homie, yeah, that homie.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't mean to cut you off, but like, when I see my homeboys, like, I don't like to be like, oh, I'm busy. Hey, what's up, dog? I'm gonna give you a hug. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? You're my homeboy, dog. Like,
yeah.
Nothing's changed.
It's important. It's important to understand that, man, because even when we post this video, I'm gonna manifest it that a lot of people are gonna look at it, and even if not a lot of people look at it, even if one individual looks at the video that we post and they feel touched, they feel moved, they feel that much closer to giving their life to God and surrendering from all that pain and turning it into purpose to finally feel the fruits of life, I'm good with that. I'm happy with that, because no matter what platform I'm on, no matter what platform Ciskoe's on, and I can speak for this because I know we carry the same heart. Man, we're struggling every single day, dog. Being on this podcast or just sitting here right now, it's already the thought behind your head, like, dang, well, I'm not making money. I'm not, I'm not at work. Like, dang, the first is coming around in a week. Oh, rent again, and that's the reality of stuff, man, that people don't see.
I told you, right? Hey, anybody want to buy something? I gotta pay my bills.
Nah,
it's the truth.
And it's the truth, bro. I'm over here trying to sell my TV. He's over here trying to sell his screen printing machines, and that's the reality of things, that at the end of the day, God doesn't give you what you want. He gives you what you need.
Yeah.
And even when you feel broke, like he said, man, we're rich in love, we're rich in faith. And man, that's something that the world could never give you. All right, you need to look to your higher power to get that, and that's what it is.
I feel like, when you're really struggling, you're doing good. Man, I remember a couple weeks ago, my bank account was at minus, and I was just like, man, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna worry? Am I gonna go hustle? Am I gonna go pick a play? Man, because there's so many plays out here you can do to make money. That's the honest truth.
That's the easy way.
But then I'm like, you know what? My website started going off, but I was like, oh, snap. I got a little bit of money now. I can maneuver to the next month. But the point is that, you know what I mean? I've been at work 40 hours, 60, 70 hours a week. And this satisfies me, man. Just being out here, just being with him, being with Jordan, being with the community, being with the clinics, being with the shelters. You know what I mean? Just watching my people, man. Because if you turn that camera that way, that's my little homie. The guy that passed in the bike, that's my little homie. They're from my neighborhood, And they'll tell you straight up, this was not me. One of them the other day goes, man, I got a little scared because I thought I was Ciskoe. I said, that is me, dog. And I was like, oh, snap, and they were telling him how I used to be. And it's like, it feels good, but I don't want to leave that image of me anymore. You know what I mean? I want people to know, like, man, that man really did something different for the neighborhood, for the neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? He really put himself out there in a position where he can actually give a hand and be like, I have a couple resources. You know what I'm saying? And you know where it started? And I'm going to be honest with you. With one of my cousins, his name is Solomon. You know what I'm saying? Watching him change his life and watching where he's at in his life at this moment, I salute him daily, man, because that man was in the trenches. When I mean trenches, my homegirl Esther, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get her on the podcast. And the friend Monica, like, I want to get them three, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like them three bring a lot of good to the world, like everybody else does. But, like, I really want to bring people that struggled, and I want to bring people that are helping out. I don't care about your fancy car. I don't care about your big-ass house. I don't. That don't impress me. I don't care how much money you're making. I can care less, because everybody has the opportunity to make money, you know what I'm saying? It's what you give and what you're doing. And actually, you're that person you're saying that you are. And these people know I struggle every day. They see me struggle, and they're like, oh, you're really doing that? I'm like, hey, dog, let's keep that between us. I struggle every day. You know how hard it is to turn your cheek sometimes? When you just want to, like, lay somebody down, And you're talking to a knucklehead.
I did it. I told you about it. You're like, let me do it. Neither of us can do it, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And now, like, not too long ago, I you know what I mean? I got a little scuffle. I'm not proud of it because I'm trying to send a message of good, and I'm over here squabbling. You know, and it's like, I figured the only way I can tame that little animal I have inside of me is train in the morning, train with professionals, and keep that to myself because that's my healing process. I can't put my healing process on you because your problems are your problems. My negativity
Ooh.
should never be his negativity. You know what I'm
Ooh,
saying?
that's good.
Because then I'm contaging the world with my bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
And I
What
want
up, though?
Man, that's beautiful.
You know what I mean?
My dog right here. What's up, carnal?
How you doing, Papa?
And the haircut's still fresh, fool.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
A podcast.
That's a little video right here.
I mean, ánimo. Ánimo.
Ánimo y pa' adelante.
You know what I mean?
Hey, remember that as complex as your life is as complex as his life is. We're all going through it. You know, don't turn your back on people. Definitely
That part.
stay open to change, right? And understanding that God's timing is perfect all the time, you know. And even if it came after 18 years, you know, even if it came after 22 years, we're here, we're present,
Yeah.
and we're learning every day.
I've been putting this on my stories lately. Always be a student and never look down on the next man, and always be a helping hand because you never know when are you gonna extend your hand for somebody's help, because it'll happen. Trust me, it's gonna happen. So stay humble, stay grounded, stay in faith, and stay believing that somebody bigger than you does exist, man. And you're all loved one way or another, man. Nobody's perfect. Stay grinding, stay motivated, stay consistent. Always the Tinman. Go ahead, let them know.
Your boy Chikágo, and what do we say? Blessings to all.